Be careful who you fall for. Robbie and Trevor Crestmont have a body count, the killer kind. Handsome and privileged, the Crestmont brothers have enough wealth to ensure they'll never be found guilty of any wrongdoing, even if all Happy Valley believes they're behind the deaths of their ex-girlfriends. First, there was soccer star Victoria Moreno, Robbie's ex, who mysteriously drowned at the family lake house. Then, a year later, Trevor's girlfriend died of a suspicious overdose. But the Crestmonts aren't the only ones with secrets. Lauren O'Brien might be the new girl at school, but she's never been a good girl. With a dark past of her own, she's desperate for a fresh start. Except when she starts a no-strings-attached relationship with Robbie, her chance is put in jeopardy. During what's meant to be their last weekend together, Lauren stumbles across shocking evidence that just might implicate him. With danger closing in, Lauren doesn't know who to trust, and after a third death rocks the town, she must decide whether to end things with Robbie or risk becoming another cautionary tale. Tonight's book is The One That Got Away with Murder by Trish Lundy. Hello, and welcome to my desk. I realized I don't really have an intro other than hello and welcome to my desk. So, I guess I should probably say, if you've never been here before, my name is Book, and hopefully I will become your favorite faceless nighttime book reviewer. I just do book reviews at my desk. That's pretty simple and straightforward. Tonight's book is The One That Got Away with Murder by Trish Lundy. The tagline is, "Cross your heart and hope to survive." This one was pretty good. Let's start there. I'm gonna flip open my notes because I'm a few books ahead of this now. And I'll give you my initial thoughts. So, this was a pretty good book overall. Solid pacing, twisty, turny, enough to keep it interesting without making it confusing. I would rate this book medium. I don't really have a system for rating books, and if I say a book is medium, that means it's a good book, and I would recommend it, but I wouldn't say it's like on my favorite books ever list, you know? I'm definitely going to keep this one on my bookshelf, so if you're new here, also, that's a standard that I'm implementing if I keep it or give it away. The themes of this book are kind of the elements that are prominent, are teenage drama, self-esteem, dealing with trauma, peer pressure, relationships, parental divorce, with a touch of murder and conspiracy, and also forgiveness. So that's kind of the highlight hit points of what you can expect if you pick up this book. It definitely doesn't suffer from what quite a few of the books that I reviewed, I think, have suffered from, which is like pacing that's kind of all over the place, or timelines that are jarring when you're going back and forth or something. There's none of that. There is an element of a dark past looming over the main character. She's kind of haunted by something, in her past that's affecting her present, and that slowly gets revealed throughout the book. She does make some weird decisions and some bad decisions, but they contribute to the plot. Obviously, you need to have something that moves the story forward. They're not unbelievable choices given how they establish her character. But I was like, why are you doing this? Like, this is clearly a bad decision given all the information you have at present. But that's like teenage impulsiveness for you. Anyways, some things to know are there are some pretty heavy themes in this book related to kind of the darker sides of teenagehood, including kind of bullying, substance abuse, intimate relationships, and I don't want to give too much away, but there's definitely heavier elements related to that. And in some aspects, the book kind of treats that in a normalizing way, which isn't my life experience, but it might be more relatable to other readers in that sense. But it's definitely present in the book. So if those are things you like to avoid, then steer clear of this one. I think those are all the main things I wanted to hit for someone who just picks up this book off the shelf to know. Those are kind of my, like, this is what it's about. These are the caveats I would give if you have any sensitivities to any subject matters. But as for me and how I felt reading this book, I liked it. It was kind of a refreshing break from all of the Agatha Christie books that I recently had been reading. And so it definitely hits all of those kind of like mysterious, dark characters where everyone has secrets. And it's kind of like small town, but also a little bit of big city tones. It's generally just, it was a fun read. It wasn't difficult to read. There's no like flowery prose or anything. It flows well. There's never a moment where you're just kind of like waiting for the next thing to happen. It's always in progression. So yeah, I liked it. It was a good book. And I would recommend it. I would say like not outstanding. Don't go in thinking it's going to be the best book you've ever read. But it's a solid like mystery thriller light, maybe. I don't know. I get kind of confused when it comes to how to classify a book. Hi, I apologize if there's a bit of a weird cut here in the video, because I realized in kind of speed running the review to make it a little bit shorter, I forgot to talk about the aesthetics, which is one of my favorite parts of doing these reviews. With the Agatha Christie books, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about because those have so many covers that you can really find one that suits your taste. But this book cover is, I think, really well done. It's got the necklace here and it's hanging on a chest, and then like kind of the wound off to the side, and the blood dripping, and with murder looked like it's written in blood with fingers. We've got blood splatter on the spine, and then the lake tinted red on the back. And these are all elements that relate directly to the plot of the book, so it's really well done in that context too, as it's directly representative of the content of the book. And if you've seen any of my reviews where I talk about the aesthetics of a book cover, one of my big pet peeves is that when they create a book jacket that doesn't relate to the story in a way that's in any way representative, it's super frustrating for me. So this one, I think they did a great job. If I take off the book jacket, also my book was water damaged. I spilled it. I had it in my bag taking it to work with me, and my water spilled. So that actually kind of fits the book. If you read it, you know. But I think even without the book jacket on this particular book, I love the way they did this gold crescent moon, and the title is embossed in gold on the edges. And the choice of the red and white overall is a really good choice, I think. So that's the aesthetics portion, and now we'll jump back to me outroing the video originally. Yeah, so if this one tickles your fancy, definitely pick it up if those sound like things you want. It's definitely very teenager centered. Very teenage drama, very teenage angst, very high school setting. So know that going in as well. I think that's it. I'm trying to make these a little bit shorter, a little more to the point. So you'll have to let me know if this format feels a little bit better. I think sometimes I tend to talk a little too much if there's something specific to talk about, but this book is very straightforward. I think I didn't have a lot of issues with it, and there wasn't anything I feel like I need to expand upon other than I would say good book, check it out if it seems like it's your vibe. So yeah, that's it. That's this one. nice and short and to the point. The One That Got Away with Murder by Trish Lundy. I hope I was able to give you a little bit of insight so you can decide whether or not you want to read this book. Thanks for joining me here tonight, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.